Right, going live now. Okie dokie. So some horrible breaking news that we'd all feared has just come out. Leicester City have just tweeted out. This is their club statement. It is with deepest regret and collective broken heart that we confirm Chairman Vichai, I'm not going to pronounce his surname because I just don't want to get it wrong at this point, was among those that have tragically lost their lives on Saturday evening when a helicopter carrying him and 4 other people crashed outside the King Power Stadium. None of those 5 people survived the crash on board, and everyone has sadly passed away. The primary thoughts of everyone at the club are with the family and the families of all those on board at the time of an unspeakable loss. The world has lost a great man, a man of kindness, of generosity, a man whose life was defined by the love he devoted to his family and those he so successfully led. Leicester City was a family under his leadership. It is a family that will grieve his passing. His family that will grieve his passing and maintain this pursuit of a vision for the club that is now in his legacy. A book of condolence will be shared with the family. It will be opened at the King Power Stadium from 8 a.m. on Tuesday the 30th of October for supporters wishing to pay their respects. Supporters unable to visit the King Power Stadium can leave condolences online. Both the fixture against Southampton in the EFL Cup and the development squad fixture against Feyenoord in the Premier League International Cup have both been postponed. Everyone at the club has been truly touched by the remarkable response of a football family whose thoughtful messages of support and solidarity have been deeply appreciated at this difficult time. Absolutely horrendous news. But it is news that we've all been expecting. It's news that were all expecting, and it is now been confirmed that him and 5 was among 5 people that have passed away. It was expected that there was 2 people on board that were part of the crew, and that is 2 of those. It is expected that his daughter has sadly also lost his life, who was expected to be on there, and an unnamed 5th person. This is absolutely the worst thing that could ever happen. I was thinking, I bet that some of the fans want Puel sacked, as you would expect, but it's totally changed everything that has happened. Just an hour after the incident, the game finished, the helicopter crashed, and after the initial everything coming out, there was just a sudden silence. There was a sudden silence from everyone, and it was expected that he had indeed sadly lost his life. Now we can, say, or maybe he doesn't need to do that and things like that. But the fact is, someone has lost their life. I'll get the statement up there for those that wish to read it. The chairman basically just looks after the finances and sort things like that out. That's what a chairman does. So he bought the club back in, I think it was around 2010, making his wealth through the King Power, which is basically what they do is they own a duty free. So basically they're in selling stuff in airports. He bought the club back in 2010 when the club were in the Championship. He succeeded Milan Mandaric as chairman of the club in February 2011, as continuing as an owner. His son came vice chairman. In July 2011, the club renamed their stadium from the Walker Stadium to what it is now, the King Power Stadium. Leicester City, under his leadership, went from a lowerly struggling Championship side into the Premier League, survived their first season back in the Premier League, and unbelievably, they stayed up, being miles behind. Yes, there was five people, including him, and it's expected 2 people from the pilot, the 2 pilots, and also at this point his daughter is also expected to be on there, which is absolutely horrendous. This is news that we were expecting to hear. And then the season after they miraculously stayed up, they sacked manager Nigel Pearson. This was a huge surprise to the footballing world. And then they appointed Claudio Ranieri. Claudio Ranieri, under his leadership, they brought so many good players, the likes of Mahrez. He gave, Vardy was there, and that has continued, bringing in very, very good quality players that can improve the likes of Maddison and the likes of people like Damari Gray, as well as Ben Chilwell coming through. It is the worst news, but it was expected this would happen. In 2015-2016, they produced the biggest ever surprise in the Premier League we'll ever see, when Leicester City won the Premier League. This will forever be the biggest surprise and shock you'll ever see in the Premier League. He took a club and, under his leadership, made them Premier League champions. So 8 years he has been at the club until his sad death. Last year he brought Levan, who play in Belgium as well. His son is obviously vice chairman and is expected, unfortunately, he'll probably have to take over. This is an absolutely horrendous situation. Something that, we have all been expecting. This news, there was no sort of news on how they were, and everything just went dead, and we were just waiting for this news, and it has just broken. To read that first bit of the statement again: it is with deepest regret and a collective broken heart that we confirm our chairman was among those that have tragically lost their lives on Saturday evening, when a helicopter carrying him and 4 other people crashed outside the King Power Stadium. None of those 5 people on board survived. I mean, it's just probably the worst footballing tragedy that English football has seen for years and years and years. I mean, 5 people have lost their life, and it's just a huge tragedy. He was liked by everyone at the club, and you can question his sacking. Pearson was a very, very odd one. Ranieri was sacked, but you can't question his love for them. He did so many things. He's given out 3 free scarves. He's given when it's his birthday, which is the 4th of April, around that time, he does give out free beer and free drinks and a free, so many things that the owners don't do. The owners don't do. It is so horrible, and he cared. You could see that there was a true bond between him, the chairman, the owner of Leicester City, and the players. He gifted 19 players with a BMW i8, which means absolutely nothing to me. But they were £100,000 each for winning the title. And as Nick has just pointed out, that there is... thank you so much, Xvideos, for tuning in. They did well in the Champions League. And this is probably the worst thing that's happened since the turn of the millennium. The Chelsea owner, died in the same way back in 1996, around the same sort of time in October, but different circumstances. Statement confirmed that there is going to be talks about if the Premier League will go ahead next weekend, and will be confirmed by Tuesday afternoon. So they have confirmed that the game against Southampton in the EFL Cup has been postponed. This is something that just does not matter. That doesn't matter at this time. People can go over and give their wishes and write in the condolence book. There is a lcfc.com. You can do that. But just looking at the Premier League fixtures for next weekend, it's just a very, very horrid situation. Leicester City travel to Cardiff on Saturday. Whether I'm not sure they will be fit or wanting to do that. It's a horrendous situation. Will all league games be called off? I don't know. You would imagine it would mainly be Leicester. Games have gone on today, and you expect Manchester City's game away at Tottenham to also be a part of, normality, be a game that is going to take place. What he has achieved at Leicester may never, ever be achieved again. You look at some of the amazing call all games off as a mark of respect, says Mark. That may well happen. But we don't know at this time whether that will happen or not. There have been some clubs, the likes of Derby, that did very well coming up and won the old First Division as it was, but no one in the modern era has come up and then won the Premier League, and it may never happen again. But his leadership at Leicester City will go down as one of the most amazing things, and will always be remembered for what he, Ranieri, and everyone at Leicester Club achieved back in 2016 with Leicester City winning the league title. It's probably one of the most incredible things that you're ever likely to see, and I think everyone has been moved by this news. Everyone is totally shocked, and everyone on that craft died. People have been saying that the pilot tried to divert out of harm's way. He probably knew what was going to happen, and he tried to stop more people being injured, which is an absolutely courageous thing to do. We've been waiting for the news all day, and it was just whether it was going to be now or whenever. There will be tributes, obviously, going forward. There will be, I would imagine, there will be a minute silent at tomorrow's game between Tottenham Football Club and Manchester City. But this is something that you just never think. When I saw the news, I sort of just thought maybe it would just be, a small crash, like a small, like they got down and but it wasn't. The only thing I can say is they have achieved what they set out to do. He went there, and I remember when they got promoted to the Premier League, he said, I want to be a top 4 club in like 2 years. Or 5 years or 3 years. And I remember thinking, this looks completely, off his head, thinking that Leicester can compete like that. And he did it. He's such a lovely gentleman. There was just no news, and it was only a matter of time until this news broke. There is being a sort of big painting erected at the King Power Stadium, and there will be flowers and things left. It is, as I say, probably the worst footballing tragedy in England for 20 plus years, and it is one of the most horrendous things to ever happen. And it sometimes, like, stuff like this really does put football into perspective on how little it matters when stuff like this happen. A statement by the company of the helicopter says it wasn't expecting anything like this and nothing looked wrong. It first took off and it just went within 2.5 seconds, and it took 8 seconds to crash. When incidents like this happen, there's a very, very small chance of survival. That's absolutely right. There is a very, very small chance that people survive helicopter crashes. But, you can look and think what went wrong. But the fact is, unfortunately, it doesn't matter. The Leicester fans must be absolutely heartbroken. As am I. I mean, I think we all are very, very moved by the news. Our match has been postponed, and rightly so. Southampton match, yes, that has been confirmed. Also, again, they're just showing the picture that they have put up of him smiling away. Yeah, it just looks like a very happy person. The development squad fixture against Feyenoord in the Premier League International Cup has also been postponed because that doesn't matter. There's no way the players would be fit to be able to play in just a few days. That would be absolutely ridiculous at this point. It is very sad, as David Coyne says. Rest in peace. It just doesn't seem real at all. It just seems like a terrible, terrible dream. It really is an absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I'm a Liverpool fan, but have so much respect for the man and what he has done to the club. I mean, you look at who died. Everyone that was on the plane, on the helicopter, has sadly passed away. It is expected, as well as the chairman of Leicester City, his daughter is expected to have also been on the craft, as well as 2 pilots and an unnamed 5th person. I suppose this will come out at some point as who exactly was on, but they have indeed sadly lost their chairman and owner, who took them really from nowhere. And it is a horrendous situation, and there is just no words for what has happened. There are, some things you see and you think, so many things happen, and you get upset or annoyed about things, and sometimes you're like, oh, this is just the worst. And nothing can compare. This is just the most horrific thing that could say. And there are just, I'm just going to turn that off. There are so many things that we moan about, and then you look at this and you just think, when there are lives, when somebody loses their life, football, as much as I love football, and I love football more than anything, but it's so unimportant when people have their lives at risk and taken away. Southampton, my club, should just give them the match. To be honest, I wouldn't mind that. No, I don't think that would. I think that's. I don't think that should be the case. I also remember when Mwamba collapsed. I was at the game and I couldn't even speak, like I couldn't do today. And as how I have Leicester fans living near me. Mike, if you feel like crying, you can. LFC posted on the Instagram. I would imagine it's the same picture. All EFL matches should be postponed. I suppose there's only so much you can postpone. I mean, I don't know where they really go from here. It's not a thing that anyone is used to dealing with. Nobody really knows what to do. When do you think Leicester City will next play? I think if I had to have a stab in the dark, I think the next time they will play, I feel, will be the 10th of November. They are at home to Burnley, and I feel like if they were going to come back, it should be a home game where they can celebrate the life and, you know, continue his vision of what he wanted to happen. So saddened to hear the owner was killed in a helicopter crash. Deepest condolences to their families who have lost loved ones. Liverpool fan. Nobody's expecting Leicester to play this weekend coming. I just don't think they would be fit. Who do you think's better? That is absolutely, totally irrelevant. I've heard some pathetic fans, Manchester United fans, wishing it on the Glazers. Yeah, I have also seen that, and I have had, obviously my club went bust, and I hate, and hate is a strong word, the people that caused my club to get wound up, but I wouldn't wish death on them. These people have family, have stuff like that, and it's just totally irrelevant. Absolutely shouldn't wish death on anybody. I agree, particularly innocent people who are just, you know, who haven't done anything wrong. Feel free for the police officer trying to use his baton to try and free them from the wreckage. It's just horrendous. I'm only 11 and I can't remember. I wasn't alive for the crash, Hillsborough, so sad. And like Leyton Orient, very similar to Leyton Orient, except from we did. Rafa Benitez has tweeted out about it. If anyone has any like tweets or something, I'll try and get some up. I'd imagine all of the players, Football Daily Talk, how you doing? I hope you're doing wonderfully well. I'd imagine all of the players are fully aware of the situation and knew from a long time. Tributes from the Leicester squad are pouring in. Jamie Vardy has tweeted, put a post on Instagram, struggling to find the words, but to me, you are a legend, an incredible man who had the biggest heart and the soul of Leicester City Football Club. Thank you for everything you did for me, my family, and our club. I will truly miss you. May you rest in peace. Wes Morgan has posted on Twitter, absolutely heartbroken and devastated regarding the news of our chairman, a man that I loved and absolutely adored by everyone here at Leicester City Football Club, some who I personally have the utmost respect for. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family and the families of other victims in this tragedy. Harry Maguire has also tweeted out, sorry if I'm missing any. I'm an MK Dons fan, of course you are. I hope you're doing well. Would never ever want anything to happen. Now, I think football rivalry is very, very unique. I always wanted Shrewsbury, who are Hereford's rivals, to get relegated and stuff, but really I just miss playing them. I miss playing them so much. Words can't describe how I feel. This is Harry Maguire, a truly great, kind, loving man who will be missed so much by everyone. I will never forget the chairman's support, not only during my time at Leicester, but during the World Cup. Rest in peace. Ben Chilwell has tweeted out, I can't believe it. I am heartbroken to hear that no one survived the crash yesterday. He is one of the best people you could wish to meet. Making you happy made him happy. He was always smiling and laughing. Every picture you look at him, he's always chuckling to himself. Such a happy person. It wasn't just what he did for the football club, but Leicester as a city. He has truly brought us all together, so now we must stay together as a city and achieve what he knew we could. Christian Fuchs just put thank you with a picture. Did you know that when he won, I did mention that he brought the team all. They brought BMWs for everyone. Danny Simpson has tweeted out, of course, another Premier League winner with Leicester City. Thank you for everything you have done for me, the players, the fans, the club, and the whole of Leicester. You made mine and everyone else's dream come true. I am truly devastated and can't quite process what has happened, but we will do our best to help the club grow. Rest in peace, Andy King, who is currently out on loan at Cardiff, I believe. Rest in peace, boss. You were a great person who cared so much about the club, the city, and everything that came with it. Thank you for enabling us to achieve our dreams. I hope you are as proud of the club as we were of you. We will miss you. Just so many people commenting. So many people making their thoughts known. Rafa has tweeted. Everyone keeps telling me I will check what he put. For now, I will have a look. Our prayer. Oh wait, no. That's an old one. Our prayers and thoughts are everyone with Leicester. That's an old tweet. Yeah, that's all I have on that one. Are there any more posts that I have missed? I don't think so. But lots of tributes from not only the players who have tweeted out, but random people. Like if I just go onto my Twitter, we have Trippier Ways with the Premier League title champions. Harry Maguire has put a heartbroken and a crying face. Ilkay Gundogan, who obviously plays for Manchester City, a sad weekend for the Premier League. Thoughts go out to everyone affected by yesterday's tragic event. There's somebody's tweeted out the video of, I think it's his own video, when Leicester City won the Premier League. Stoke City have tweeted out, everyone at Stoke would like to feel their heartfelt condolences to the families and loved ones who have lost everyone at this time. It's just truly an absolutely horrendous situation. Newcastle United tweet out as Newcastle. I have no idea. They don't have to tweet out about it. You don't have to tweet out about it to show that you are heartbroken by the news. What a terrific man who transformed Leicester City into a great club. I have a soft spot for Leicester, as my great-grandparents were Leicester fans. Football Daily Talk. With that one, St. Columbo, mate, it's heartbroken for everyone. It's just a massive loss to the footballing world. I don't know if Newcastle has tweeted out, like I said, didn't have to. Dean Hoyle has tweeted out, "Why a lovely man to meet. He was always a good man to speak to, and when he lent players to Huddersfield Town, including Ben Chilwell. Just finished my FIFA 19 Leicester City career, won the title." It's just one of the worst tragic things that has ever happened in football. There's just no words. Someone give Mike a hug. You're doing a great job keeping people updated with the devastating news. I don't want a hug off you. I'll get a hug off my dog. My dog knows the score. My dog certainly knows the score. Just trying to find that picture I wanted. Here it is. So this is the memorial that has been put outside the King Power Stadium in memory of their owner, who achieved so much in such a short space of... What dog do I have? He's 3/4 Labrador, 1/4 Weimaraner, and absolutely, simply amazing person. And I feel everyone, whether you're, everyone that isn't a big Premier League club would want this. They want someone to take over their club and just achieve the dreams that nobody ever thought possible. I believe he did own full shares. I believe they are the only owners. Yes, I did read your tweet. He did incredibly well in the Champions League. He made things happen that are absolutely insane. the things that, yes, he did. Thank you, Dan Bateman. He did indeed give money, a lot of money to charity. So much money to charity, and tried to help not only the football club but the city of Leicester. Jack BWFC. He was one of the few owners who wasn't there for the money. He was there to move Leicester City Football Club from a League One club to an established mid-table Premier League club. Alan Barney, just think he thought to himself he is just going to go home and enjoy the rest of his night. He didn't think it was going to be his last night on earth. I did see your tweet earlier about Shelby. Basically, it is expected that the him along with his daughter was meant to be on there, as well as two pilots and someone else. Whoever that person is, we have no idea at this stage. He does seem a very, very happy person, which is absolutely lovely. It was just an odd day, a very, very odd day, an odd day for football yesterday, and there are just no words. There are no words to describe such a tragedy. Wilfred Ndidi, simply two heartbroken emojis followed by a crying face. Manchester City have tweeted out, following the sad confirmation of fatalities in last night's helicopter crash, Manchester City sent its deepest condolences at all at Leicester City Football Club. BBC Sport, the man who helped mastermind one of the greatest sporting stories of any generation. Leicester City and football will never forget him. He allowed football fans to dream again. And that is it. James Maddison, he has also shared his thoughts, devastated and heartbroken at the news that no one survived the helicopter crash. Life isn't fair sometimes. The boss was a wonderful, thoughtful person who lived and breathed. I just need to get the rest of the post up. Leicester City Football Club, rest in peace. Just so many tributes coming through. So many people that just were touched and humbled to have worked with him and met him. And when you see people, I did see that Sam Goddell. I did see that. What's going to happen, Leicester? I would imagine they'll just carry on. I would imagine that the Sun will go into the chairman role. I would imagine Man City versus Tottenham is still going on. I would imagine it would be the Sun that will be in charge. He was at every single game in spirit, that's for sure. I agree with that.
How old is he?
That's a very, very good question. So he was born on April 4th, 1958, and he was in his 60th year, and he sadly passed away on the 27th of October 2018, which meant he died on impact, so he wouldn't have survived. Hundreds of people have already gone down to the stadium and laid flowers, put shirts and things like that, and not just of Leicester City, but the whole football community. I saw Manchester City, Liverpool, Walsall, there was Derby and Nottingham Forest as well. Everyone has been touched. Love from Burnley. The Southampton game has been called off because of this incident. I have Aston Villa as well. He was loved by all, and that is the main thing. It seems sometimes the worst things happen to some of the nicest people. Mo Salah has tweeted out, "A truly sad day for football. My thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of those who tragically passed away." Just so many nice things being said from all sorts of people, as I say, not just Arlo White said it was a shell of a football club when they took over back in 2010. The chairman signed over £100 million of debt off. He brought back the stadium, and there is still plans to expand the stadium. Planning permission was granted last week for a new state-of-the-art training ground, which would cost over £100 million. They won the championship and then went on to win the Premier League, a quarter-final in the Champions League. You think about it, he made things happen that were just crazy. He gave away 60 season tickets on his birthday, celebrating 60. He gave donuts, breakfast, scarves, away games to celebrate milestones and create an unbelievable bond between him and the Leicester City fans. Just an amazing, amazing person. At an event at the Foxes Foundation, he grabbed the microphone and said he'd put in another £1 million after already putting in £10 million to help hospitals in the local community. Not only has he helped the football club, but he has helped the city, which is why people are so touched. So touched. Must be so sad when I'm going to Leicester tomorrow on holiday, and I think I'm going to put some flowers down at the ground, says Brave Taylor. He was a great guy who inspired everyone. Ben Higginson, Red Devil Weekly, an amazing YouTuber who covers Manchester United. Feel free to check him out. Such a sad news, RIP, a man who saw his crazy dream become a reality. Couldn't sum it up better. Please stop talking about Mike Ashley. It's got nothing to do with this. My uncle died in a glider crash in the Alps. He was such a kind soul and didn't deserve to go. I'm sure it's the same. I agree. 7EdX. Still, tributes are pouring in. They've done an article on Sky Sports News. The man who transformed Leicester. When he took over, he brought the club in a very rare interview. He was asked why he bought the football club. He claimed that it was because Leicester had the same colours as his company, King Power Duty Free, but there was more behind the Thai billionaire and his purchase. Vichai was a quiet, humble and generous man who fell in love with the community of Leicester and the people within it. Supporters were initially sceptical about him, but he was true to his word and was not a foreign owner running the club from afar. He was a frequent visitor to the King Power Stadium, and when he was unable to get to a match, his son, who was known locally as Top, was there. They were very much at the heart of the football club despite having huge business interests elsewhere. After buying then Championship Leicester for 39 million from Milan Mandaric, he wrote off £103 million worth of loans that they have occurred and effectively made them debt-free. Just a year after they got promoted from League One, playing the likes of Hereford in that season. Since then, there has been a steady flow of money from the club, improving the playing squad as well as the overall infrastructure, with planning permission granted for a brand new training ground that cost upwards of 100 million, which I've already talked about. But more than investing in his own personal wealth, he engaged with supporters. He gave fans free bus travel to away games. He gave out free beer and cake when it was his birthday, as well as free scarves. It was a small gestures like these, rather than big name signings, that won the hearts of Leicester City fans. Beyond the world of football, He realised the value of the community. He gave two separate instalments of £1 million to Leicester Royal Infirmary, just as a gesture to try and help the people and the community of Leicester. It had absolutely nothing to do with football. He genuinely felt like he could change the community for the better, and that's what he wanted. He was very close to his staff and had a strong relationship with senior players at the club, often seeking their account and opinion on certain matters. When they secured the unlikeliest of Premier League titles in 2016, he was not backwards in rewarding the playing squad with sports cars and all expenses paid holidays. There were, of course, those crazy nights where he would take an entire squad out and pay for everything, whether that be trips to casinos or top restaurants. Nothing was too expensive or too much trouble for him. But when it came to running the club, taking big decisions, he took them on. He never shied from tough calls or passed them on to people to run the club on a more day-to-day basis. It was very much his club and run in his image. Not all of the decisions were popular. The sackings of Nigel Atkins, Claudio Ranieri and Craig Shakespeare were considered unpopular, but he continued to ask supporters to trust him, and they did. While football fans don't always agree with their owners, he always was very conscious of explaining himself to the Leicester supporters and always ensured them that he has the very best interest at heart. The way he was around the club and the community, I think they have been utterly convinced by that. His lasting legacy, however, will be that he delivered the most famous Premier League title in the history of the competition, something that I feel will never be matched. It immediately assured his place in Leicester folklore, and the endearing images of him and his family holding the Premier League trophy will always be remembered. Leicester City fans have already called for a statue to be built. When was the last time of supporters wanting to build a statue of their owner? That honour is normally reserved for hero players at the club. However, in this case, it would be more unfitting for a man that was more than just a football owner. That is a very, very, very lovely piece there. Very lovely piece. I went to the game against West Ham last night. What about the EFL? I don't think there'll be anything like that. I hope this makes his son... Well, that's just totally irrelevant. But still, so many people, tweeting out and sending their love from all over the globe, not just in Britain, not just in Europe, but everywhere else. Kasper Schmeichel has tweeted out, and this is a very, very long one. Dear Mr. Chairman, I cannot believe this is happening. I am totally devastated and heartbroken. I just cannot believe what I saw last night. It doesn't seem real. It is difficult to put the words in how much you have meant to this football club in the city of Leicester. We all know about the investment of the football club and you and your family have made, but this is so much more. You care deeply not only about the club but the entire community. Your endless contribution to Leicester hospitals and charities will never be forgotten. You went above and beyond in every aspect. Never have I come across a man like you, so hard-working and so dedicated, so passionate, so kind and so generous in the extreme. You had time for everyone, you touched everyone. It didn't matter who it was, you had time for them. I always admire you as a leader, as a father and as a man. You changed football forever. You gave hope to everyone that the impossible was possible, not just for our fans, but all fans over the world in any sport. Not many people have done that. When you signed me in 2011, you said to me we would be in Champions League within 6 years and we would do great things. You inspired me and I believed in you. You made me feel like nothing was impossible without you and your family. All things, everything we did together, we achieved would have never happened. You gave me experiences that only happen in fantasy. You literally made my dreams come true. He goes on to say, Kasper Schmeichel, but what I am most proud of is to have been part of your vision, the environment you created, this club, this city, and this community. Where was I? I'll just start reading it. The club, this city, and the family. This is all because of you. I am eternally grateful. I am grateful for to have known you and grown close to you and your amazing family. For all of the private moments and joint experiences I had known with you on a personal level. It breaks my heart that I will never see you in the dressing room when I came in early for my warm-up and have a chat about everything and nothing. That you won't be there having fun, laughing with the boys, seeing your infectious smile and enthusiasm that rubbed off on everyone you came into contact with. We now have the responsibility as a club, as players and as fans to honour you. For knowing you, we do this by being the family that you created, by sticking together and supporting the closest to you through this horrendous time. You had a vision for this club. You wanted us to be, you wanted the best for us. There was absolutely nothing you couldn't do for us. You were so passionate. We must honour your legacy by delivering for you on the pitch like you wanted and continuing being the close knit family that you have built. You will never know how much you meant to me and my family. I am truly honoured and privileged to be a small part of your life. And then he just tweeted a picture of them together, and that is what he put. And I feel that is an amazing end to the video. What a beautiful, excellent way of words he has put. I'm going to give that a retweet. What a lovely gesture, and what a lovely thing to say about such an amazing man. Helped so many people, no matter who you were, and it is an amazing thing that he has achieved, and hopefully they will continue rising with his legacy behind them. Thank you so much for everyone who decided to tune in as I broke the news that he had sadly passed away. It really means a lot to me. And feel free, if you are watching this video back or after, as I finish, feel free to leave your comments down below. Thanks for reading that out. Absolutely no problem. Great channel, Mike. Humble guy. Thank you so much. That means everything to me. But feel free to leave your comments down below. That would be absolutely more than welcome. Anything, just leave your thoughts. But thanks so much for everyone who decided to pop in. It really means a lot. And I hope we can move on from this. Not only Leicester, but the football community who have really had their heart broken with this news. Thank you so much for everyone who has decided to come in. It really means a lot to me. And hopefully you'll continue to support me. And even if you don't, thank you so much for coming in. And it means everything to me. My name is Mike, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.